What's up, apex predator enthusiasts? Welcome back to another episode where we dissect the animal kingdom's most ridiculously overpowered creatures. Today, we're talking about an animal that makes you look like an absolute coward for getting food poisoning from day-old sushi. That's right, we're talking about vultures. Now, I know what you're thinking. Vultures, those bald, creepy-looking birds that eat roadkill, how are they alphas? Oh, sweet summer child. Sit down, let me educate you. See, you've been brainwashed by Disney movies and medieval symbolism to think vultures are the grim reapers of the bird world, bad omens, harbingers of death, the goth kids of the ecosystem. But here's the plot twist. Vultures don't cause death. They're literally the janitors that prevent the apocalypse. Think about it. Every time a wildebeest eats it on the Serengeti or a deer gets obliterated by a semi-truck on Route 66, what happens? Does the universe just despawn the body like a video game glitch? No, someone's gotta clean that up, and that someone is our bald, beautiful, stomach acid-wielding hero, the vulture. Without vultures, you'd be living in a Walking Dead episode, except the zombies are just rotting carcasses everywhere. Diseases spreading like a bad TikTok trend. Anthrax, rabies, botulism, all having a field day. Vultures are the unsung MVPs keeping the planet from turning into a biohazard nightmare. Respect the janitor, people. Okay, so let's talk about why vultures are scientifically unhinged. These birds have evolved to do something most animals would literally die attempting, eating rotting flesh full of bacteria that could kill a horse. First up, stomach acid. You think your stomach acid is tough because you can handle spicy ramen? Cute. A vulture's stomach acid has a pH of around 0 to 1. For reference, car battery acid is about 1. These birds are out here with industrial-grade digestive systems. They can eat meat crawling with anthrax, botulism, cholera, and salmonella, diseases that would turn your insides into a crime scene. And they're just like, tastes like chicken. Their stomach acid is so strong it straight up disintegrates bones. Bones! You're worried about lactose intolerance while vultures are out here crunching skeletons like Doritos. And here's the kicker. By eating diseased carcasses, they're literally stopping those diseases from spreading to other animals and water sources. They're the CDC, but with wings and zero PR budget. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Yes, vultures are bald, and yes, they look like your uncle who argues about crypto at Thanksgiving dinner. But guess what? That bald head is peak evolutionary optimization. See, when you're face deep in a rotting zebra carcass, really getting in there, scooping out the good stuff, you don't want feathers. Feathers would trap blood, guts, and every disease known to science. So vultures evolved to have bald heads and necks. It's the same reason surgeons don't wear fuzzy hats in the OR. It's hygienic, it's practical. It's the biological equivalent of wearing a raincoat to a mud wrestling match. Plus, that bald skin, it's actually a cooling mechanism. Vultures can regulate their body temperature by increasing blood flow to their heads. It's like having a built-in radiator. You're over here sweating in your North Face jacket, while vultures are out here with thermoregulatory superpowers. Nature said, you want to be the cleanup crew? Fine, but you're gonna look metal as hell doing it. Let's talk about how vultures find their food, because this is where it gets truly dystopian. You ever see a nature documentary where one vulture shows up to a carcass and then suddenly there are 40 of them? That's not a coincidence. That's a network. Vultures have the best eyesight in the animal kingdom. Some species can spot a 3-foot carcass from 4 miles away. That's like you standing in Times Square and being able to read a text message on someone's phone drone in New Jersey. But it gets better. Vultures don't just rely on vision. Some species, like the turkey vulture, can smell death from over a mile away. They've got this insane olfactory system that detects ethyl mercaptan, a gas produced by decaying bodies. Gas companies actually add this chemical to natural gas so you can smell gas leaks. Vultures have been doing it naturally for millions of years. So vultures are basically flying drones with thermal cameras and chemical sensors, constantly scanning for deceased animals. They're the NSA of the sky, except instead of your browser history, they're tracking who just died. And here's the wildest part. Vultures watch each other. When one vulture spots food and starts descending, others see it and follow. It's like a pyramid scheme, but instead of essential oils, it's rotting meat. One vulture turns into 10, 10 turns into 50. It's crowdsourcing, but for corpses. Alright, let's clear up some vulture slander that's been circulating since, like, ancient Egypt. Myth number 1. Vultures are evil omens. No, vultures show up where death already happened. They're not causing it. That's like blaming firefighters for starting fires. Correlation is not causation, people. They're just doing their job. Myth number 2. Vultures are weak scavengers. Weak. These birds can fly for hours without flapping their wings, using thermal updrafts like nature's elevator system. They're so energy efficient they make a Prius look wasteful, and they can survive on food that would kill you in 20 minutes. That's not weak, that's God-tier survival skills. Myth number 3. Vultures only eat dead things. Okay, this one is mostly true, but here's the thing, that's the point. They're specialized. They're not out here trying to be lions. They found their niche and absolutely dominated it. That's called playing to your strengths. That's called knowing your brand. You don't see a plumber trying to do open heart surgery, do you? Vultures are the specialists of the ecosystem, and they're the best at what they do. Now, I'm gonna level with you. Vulture life isn't all sunshine and thermals. There's drama, there's hierarchy, there's violence. See, when multiple vulture species show up to the same carcass, there's a pecking order. Literally. Bigger species like the lappet-faced vulture or the cinereous vulture show up and basically act like bouncers at a club. They've got massive beaks that can tear through thick hide, so they get first dibs. Then you've got the mid-tier vultures, like the white-backed vulture, who wait their turn and eat the softer tissues. They're the middle class of the vulture world, working hard, not making waves. And finally, you've got the Egyptian vulture. This little guy is the smartest one at the party. Can't compete with the big dogs? No problem. The Egyptian vulture uses tools. It picks up rocks and drops them on ostrich eggs to crack them open. That's tool use. That's intelligence. So yeah, even in the scavenger world, there's a class system. It's like a Walmart Black Friday sale, except everyone's bald and covered in blood. Here's where things get depressing, folks. Despite being literal disease prevention superheroes, vulture populations are tanking. Why? Because humans are, as always, terrible. In Africa and Asia, vulture populations have dropped by 95% in some regions. 95%! That's near extinction levels. The main culprit? Poisoning. Poachers kill elephants and rhinos for ivory, then poison the carcasses to kill vultures, because circling vultures alert authorities to illegal kills. So poachers are essentially committing bird genocide to cover their tracks. It's like burning down the library to hide one stolen book. Then there's diclofenac, a painkiller given to livestock in India. When cows die and vultures eat them, the drug causes kidney failure in the birds. Millions of vultures died before anyone figured out what was happening. And the result? When vultures disappeared, rotting carcasses piled up. Feral dogs' populations exploded because they filled the scavenger niche. And guess what dogs carry? Rabies. Human rabies cases went up. Turns out when you delete the cleanup crew, everything goes to hell. Who could have predicted that? Oh wait, ecologists did. Look, I get it. Vultures aren't cute. They don't have the PR team that pandas have. Nobody's making plushies of them. But here's the thing. Vultures are a keystone species. Remove them and the whole ecosystem collapses. They prevent disease outbreaks. They recycle nutrients back into the environment. They're the reason you're not living in a plague-ridden hellscape. They're the unsung heroes who do the dirty work nobody else wants to do, and they get zero credit for it. They're the sanitation workers, the crime scene cleaners, the people who unclog sewers. Essential, underappreciated, and absolutely critical. And if we lose them, we're screwed. So next time you see a vulture circling overhead, don't think creepy death bird. Think airborne sanitation engineer with a stomach made of nightmares and a work ethic that would make your productivity influencer weep. Vultures are alphas, not because they're the strongest or the fastest, but because they do a job nobody else can do, and they do it while looking like death metal album covers. Respect the vulture. Respect the janitor of the sky. That's it for today's episode of Alpha Animals. If you enjoyed this, smash that subscribe button, leave a comment with which apex predator we should cover next, and remember, every ecosystem has its alphas. Some just wear a bald head and stomach acid cologne. Stay feral, stay curious, and I'll see you next time.